You've probably spent a lot of time scrolling through endless grill options, trying to figure out whether a pellet grill is really worth the extra space in your garage and the extra dollars on the price tag. So, who is the 28-inch Coyote outdoor pellet grill actually good for? Who should skip it, and does it make sense for the everyday backyard chef who just wants reliable smoke without fuss? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the hesitation most people feel when they see a premium pellet grill. The biggest worry is whether the digital controls and fancy stainless steel body actually translate into better cooking, or if you're just paying for a glossy finish. I dug through a handful of forum threads and product Q&As to see what real owners are saying about setup, daily use, and the hidden trade-offs that become obvious after the first few barbecue sessions. The consensus is that the Coyote's biggest strength is how it simplifies the whole pellet grilling workflow, but it does come with a few practical limits that the casual user needs to know before clicking Add to Cart. If you're the type of cook who loves the idea of setting a temperature and walking away, the Coyote's intuitive digital touch control is a game changer. The panel is responsive, and you can dial the grill from low and slow 180F for a gentle smoke up to searing 500F for burgers or steaks. The real payoff shows up the day you're prepping a weekend brisket. You load the pellets into the front hopper, set the target temperature, and the grill does the rest, adjusting the feed rate automatically. No need to babysit a manual feeder or constantly check a propane gauge. That level of automation is especially helpful if you have kids or pets pulling you away from the grill. The system maintains a steady heat without your intervention. Now, let's put the 28-inch cooking area into perspective. That surface fits a full rack of ribs, a couple of chicken quarters, and a small turkey or pork shoulder without crowding. In practice, I've found the layout works best when you plan to cook two-dimensional dishes. Think a slab of ribs on one side and a tray of veggies on the other. The double-walled canopy with a gasket helps retain heat, so you don't end up fighting cold spots when you open the lid to add a final spritz of sauce. The spring assist hood also makes opening and closing smoother, which matters when your grill is already hot and you need a quick peek at the food. Where the design really shines is the interior grill lighting. Most pellet grills hide the inner chamber in darkness, which forces you to guess where the heat is concentrated. The Coyote's built-in light lets you spot a charred spot or a piece of meat that's about to overcook without pulling out a thermometer every few minutes. That visual cue can save you from a ruined barbecue, especially if you're trying a new recipe or cooking a cut that's more delicate than a rib. On the flip side, the front-loading pellet hopper is convenient, but it does have a practical limitation if you're the type who likes to stock up on a week's worth of pellets. The hopper holds roughly 20 pounds, which is plenty for a single weekend of smoking, but if you're planning back-to-back cookouts, you'll have to pause and refill more often than you might with a larger commercial-style hopper. That's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you're budgeting your time as much as your money. Another point that some new owners overlook is the weight and mobility of the unit. The stainless steel body is sturdy, and the 304 stainless finish holds up well against the elements: rain, humidity, even the occasional splash of sauce. However, that durability comes with heft. The cart does have wheels, but once you've loaded the grill with charcoal-sized accessories, a propane tank, and a toolbox, moving it around the patio can be a workout. If you're looking for a grill you can easily slide from the deck to the driveway, you might find the Coyote a bit more stationary than a lighter portable grill. Let's talk about the practical weaknesses that often get glossed over in marketing copy. The temperature control, while generally accurate, can lag a few degrees when you make a large temperature jump. In a head-to-head test with a high-end competitor, the Coyote took about 3 minutes longer to settle after switching from 225F to 400F. For most home cooks, that extra time doesn't matter, but if you're trying to meet a strict competition timeline, the lag could be a slight annoyance. Also, the digital panel doesn't have a battery backup, so a sudden power outage means you'll lose your set point and have to restart the cycle. Something to note if you live in an area with intermittent power. Who should buy this grill? If you're a weekend warrior who enjoys the smoky flavor of pellet cooking, appreciates modern conveniences like touch controls and interior lighting, and typically grills